Hello and welcome back to another quick video. I wanted to say announcement video, but I'm not really sure. I don't think I should call it an announcement video. It's not really specifically announcing anything. I just wanted to talk a bit about a few things and get back on track with actually uploading videos here on the channel. And it's still sort of a bit of a question mark for me. I think in the previous video I explained what I wanted to do, but I wasn't really in a position to do that because I got sick and it was really bad. But I went to the doctor and I fixed some things up, and I also got some meds for migraines, which it's all been helping a whole lot. So like basically, long story short, where that's concerned, things are going better here now, and I'm hopefully going to get things back on track, as I said. With that out of the way, I'm going to be making a game. Eventually. It's going to be a long and arduous process. I have started tinkering in Game Maker Studio 2, and I'm trying to learn coding. Game Maker uses GML, which is its own coding language, but it is apparently quite similar to a lot of the other big ones out there, and it's been pretty cool so far. It makes sense. I know it's a little late in my life. I know I started a little late in my life, and it's something that I don't really have a big background in, but it is something that I'm passionate about. It's interesting because like I've been wanting to do something like this for a really long time. I mean, I've sort of had ideas floating around for an extremely long time. Since before I properly started on YouTube and Twitch. I was back then even fiddling around in RPG Maker, but I just couldn't do what I wanted to do back then in those programs, so I just left it, and I said to myself, okay, I'll come back to this later. And then I never really came back to it later. I sort of got rolling with all sorts of other stuff, and I never revisited it. And just a week and a half ago, I tried Loop Hero for the first time, and I was thoroughly impressed by the game. I loved it, and I just thought about how simple the idea of the game is, and I thought about how cool the concept is, and how fun it is to play. And then I just happened to hear, oh, this was made in Game Maker. This was a tiny little concept that the team had made for a game jam that apparently during the game jam really didn't work out, but then they thought to themselves, okay, it has the potential, and they wanted to stick with it, so they stuck with it and they made this game and they finished it up in Game Maker Studio. And I at the time was also just looking, I happened upon Game Maker on Steam, and I saw it there, and I started looking around and doing a bit of research about it, and I thought to myself, you know, if this is the kind of stuff you can make in a program like this, a program that apparently makes coding and, let's just say, making a game a whole lot easier and more accessible, then I'm in. I want to give it a try. So I jumped in about a week and a half ago. I think it's just over a week. I think I've been busy for just over a week. I've been streaming every day or two my progress. I started with literally nothing. Like I've not done coding before. I haven't touched any of it. Every single bit of what I'm learning now is brand new, but I've managed to make space rocks, which it's a really simple concept, but it was quite something for me to work my way through, for me to learn all the ins and outs, and to learn how to put something together that I can actually play. It's really, really satisfying. It's the greatest feeling, actually pressing those buttons and having your character, or in this case your ship, react, and just, you know, changing these lines of code that end up doing so much when you're in the game. It's fantastic. I mean, I even used what I guess you could call the basics or the beginnings of some AI, which to me was just fascinating. Like the idea of just how it works, all the different lines that you put in there of like, you know, if this happens, then that happens, and just basically the breaking down every single little event that happens in the game to something so simple, to like these little bite-sized chunks of code. The whole process was just awesome to see for me. And again, it was something that was brand new to me. And that's it. I've been enjoying it thoroughly. I started streaming. My very first stream of coding was the very first time that I opened the program, the very first time that I typed a line of code. So I'm going to be uploading all of that on YouTube, and you're going to be able to see like exactly where I started. I even made a like spot in my calendar. I put it there on the day, and I was like, okay, this is where I started, because I want to motivate myself and I want to keep going with it, and I want to actually make something of it, and I'm going to be taking it seriously. And that's actually the main reason I wanted to make this video, is that I wanted to say, oh, well, you're probably going to be seeing a whole lot of that kind of content here on the channel, and specifically on the Twitch channel as well. I am going to be going pretty hard on it, and I've sort of realized recently that that has been how I've been doing things for the past year and a half already, or something like that. I have just been like laser focusing on certain things. You know, you guys saw it with like Final Fantasy. I was like laser focused, playing that every day for like many hours a day. I did the same thing with World of Warcraft. I did the same thing with, I'm doing the same thing right now with Guild Wars, and I am probably going to end up doing the same thing with Game Maker Studio and game dev in general. And it's been awesome because we have a lot of community members that are passionate about this kind of thing too. They're not specifically making their own games. They're not entrepreneurs in the space. They're not trying to do anything like that, but they are passionate in that they are in a similar field. They know the ins and outs. They know more than just the basics. Some of them are veterans, and it's been awesome to sort of share with them and hear from them and learn from them. And I have just, again, been having such an awesome time with it that you're definitely going to see more of it, because it's something that I want. It's something that I have decided just very recently that I would like more of in my future. And I think before I talk any more about how much I'm enjoying actually, you know, typing the code out and seeing these changes pop up in the games, I will say that I am most definitely getting into it because I have my own ideas. And it's crazy, because when I started thinking about all the different possibilities, and when I started, you know, breaking down other people's projects that I had seen, and sort of looking at what could potentially go into certain games to make them the way that they are, and all the other stuff like that, I started having my own ideas pop up, and I basically just have project after project after project lined up now that I personally want to do. I have a couple of like absolute dream games that I'd like to jump into and tackle when I know a whole lot more. I have a couple of smaller projects that I'd like to jump into and sort of fiddle with sooner rather than later. And this is all my own stuff. I'm going to call it original content. I have games that I basically conceptualized from the ground up that I think will be fantastically fun, or great experiences, or just like super emotional, or whatever. I've got a lot of them, because the ideas just started pouring in, and I know how it is. I know how it is where like you know, not every idea is going to work out, and not every idea is actually a great idea, even though it may seem like it at the time. But that's unimportant. I feel like as long as I'm learning something in the process, and as long as I'm having a good time with it, that's all that really matters. And obviously, if at some point I can sell a game, and if at some point I can put it up there like on Steam or any other outlet where it can be for sale and actually generate an income, that's fantastic too. But that is a little bit down the line. However, I'm going to try and go hard on it and make something of it sooner rather than later, because again, I've got some ideas that I personally think are going to be awesome. I have been explaining some of them and sort of revealing the basics of some of them on stream. So if you want to see that, the Twitch channel's where you should be. And they've been obviously met with mixed reviews, because I can't really, and I shouldn't really, be putting all of it out there. I say I can't because it's difficult when you have this super vivid image in your mind of what something should be, or a super vivid image in your mind of what something could be. It's difficult to project that out in a way that everyone can understand, because of the vastness of the ideas, and because of imagination being something that can work a whole lot faster than my old mouth. You know, it's difficult. And then on top of that, also because some things just sound or seem better in your mind than they could potentially be when you get in there and start coding them. And also, I suppose, because sometimes ideas are actually just a little too much. You might have this idea on a scale that either hasn't been done before or just isn't really viable. And, well, I guess all of it is part of the learning process. But the basic long story short is that it's something that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks or months or even years. And I hope that if you guys are interested or also passionate about something like this, come and check it out. I'm going to be putting it here on YouTube, as I said, and I'm going to be trying to structure things like the streams and the YouTube videos around that kind of content as well going forward. I'm not saying I'm quitting everything. I'm not saying that I'm stopping playing games. I'm not saying that I'm, just streaming this. I'm just saying that this is a big deal to me. It's important to me. I have decided that I am passionate about it, and you're going to be seeing quite a bit of it. So I hope you guys are ready. And I also feel like I should mention that I said, this is something that came about a long time ago initially, where I wanted to do this, and I actually had the idea linked to the whole Tales of Lumin world. And for those that don't know, maybe Tales of Lumin was actually initially created not as a Twitch channel or a YouTube channel. It was initially created as a book series and as a world in which this book series is going to exist. The name Lumin was actually not initially my nickname. It was actually the name of the world that this book was based on and the series was based on. And it's actually kind of perfect because I'll be coming full circle and I'll be returning to that, which is awesome because everything I'm going to be doing, all my own stuff, so every game that I will be releasing, and I will be releasing games, be it a small little game that'll take just a few minutes of your time, maybe every day, or just take an hour or two to play from start to finish, or be it a massive game that can take countless hours. They will be in this universe, and it will be someone was jokingly calling it the Lumiverse, but it's not even that much of a stretch. They're all going to be set in the same universe. They will have links, whether they're close links or distant links, they will have them, and it'll be apparent at certain points. At other points, you wouldn't even know. Not unless you really go out of your way to look for it. But it's going to be fantastic because this world and the characters in there and the races and the areas, the places, just everything about it, I had already thought up many years ago, and I had been sort of coming back to every so often and tinkering. I started tinkering with it and started changing things here and there, and I've been sort of revisiting it all the time, and it's all still quite fresh in my mind, and it's there and it's just waiting to be used. So that's pretty fantastic to me. It's just, again, feeling to me like a natural fit. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and everyone that's been watching the streams, they've also been having a lot of fun with it, because it's nice to see someone learn something new, and sometimes it's also nice to learn with someone. So I mean, I personally know of a few people in the community already that have said, I've been looking at getting into this. I've been considering doing this, and this right here, seeing you with zero experience jump into it and just go at it with gusto, it's enough to convince me that I should try as well. I've had a few people say that to me, and I've had a few people say, oh, I keep starting and then giving up, and then starting and giving up, and maybe I'll start again this time, and I'll make it really stick, and that's fantastic to me, because it is, again, something that with a community of people that can be supportive and helpful, that's super important. We've got a code channel on Discord now. I've been told I need to pimp the Discord server out more. I need to mention it. I need to drop the name every now and then. Hey, there's a Discord server. If you want to join the Discord server, we have fantastic people on there, so join it. But we've got a code channel on Discord now where if you have any issues, if you have a lack of motivation, if you want to just share an idea, if you want to pitch it to some people who love games and gaming and evidently love coding too, then that's an awesome place to do it. We have a fantastic community, and there are so many, I have made so many friends in the community over the years already that it's just fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for anything. and now being able to share this with them, super epic bonus. It's that perfect little cherry on top, you know. So I'm babbling a little bit now. I'm gonna stop. I just wanted to say that I'm coding now. I'm going to make a game eventually, and it's gonna be fantastic. It won't just be one. There'll be a lot of them, and you're gonna love them. You're gonna love them, and you at the back. I'm not even joking. It's gonna be awesome. I have so many different ones planned right now. I don't want to, again, I'm sharing little bits and pieces here and there, and I will be putting videos up here on the channel where I'll share full ideas and talk about the concepts that I have and the choices that I'd like to make with it, and the initialization of said projects, you know, the way I'm going to approach it and everything else. I'll talk about that. So again, if you stick around on the channel here, you'll hear about it. But for now, I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I'm going to say, yo, it's been awesome having you guys with me over the years. And finally, I hope you stick around for the next few years or longer, because it's going to be amazing. Okay? So check the Twitch stream out if you'd like, or just wait till I start uploading it here on YouTube. I am not sure in what capacity I'm going to do that yet, but it'll be here and you'll be able to find it. You will. So there. That's that. I'm done. Check back here soon for more and all that other good stuff. Happy that.